March of the Lich King, one of the things we were thinking of was, originally, if we want to do the Lich King, we wanted to do Arthas and Death Knight class, what is the appropriate expansion for that? We've already been to Northrend, we've already done Ice Crown, didn't want to just rehash that, we wanted to do something new. So we were looking at different places that we could do that. We considered doing the, try to retell Arthas' story, but Arthas moves around and that doesn't make for a great setting and character set for an expansion. So the idea came up of, okay, let's look at something that the Lich King did or part of his Scourge War. So in Wrath of the Lich King, in WoW, the very beginning, the kickoff event of Wrath of the Lich King is this Scourge invasion, where the Scourge invades all the capital cities throughout Azeroth. And it's like this temporary event that ramps up over the course of a couple weeks with zombie plagues and players turning into zombies and attacking their countrymen in the capital cities and everything, eventually fighting them off, and then going back to attack the Lich King's stronghold in Northrend. But we wanted to take just a slice of that, of just specifically the Scourge invasion of Silvermoon City, because that way we get to look at the Blood Elves. There's history there. The Lich King has attacked the Silvermoon before, and got what he needed with the Sunwell before and left. Now he's back to finish the job. So we thought that was the perfect setting, and also gave us all these characters and the city itself to play with. But we could put our spin on it of, this isn't like warm, nice, vibrant golds and reds Silvermoon. The Lich King's attacking it. It's under siege. There's this icy blizzard. There's icicles hanging off everything at weird angles, and Scourge rampaging through the streets. An interesting thing to highlight here is many of Hearthstone's expansions have been very silly, off-canon, not Warcraft, what actually happened. They're very tall tales. This time we wanted to skew more towards gritty, in-world. This isn't necessarily canon, but it's plausible. It's an embellished version of it in that we're just taking a very close look at the Scourge invasion just of one capital city, but everything that happened here in March of the Lich King could have happened. So we got to explore that story, and also it gave us another side to this to look at with the Blood Elves. We've got all these commanders of the Blood Elves, their leaders, all the people of Silvermoon City, and then we get to have this Scourge versus Silvermoon fight. Aligning the classes with the two sides was one of the challenges we worked through during initial design. Some of them fit very cleanly of okay, the Magisters are definitely the mages, the Farstriders are definitely the hunters, the Blood Knights are definitely the paladins. But a lot of it was on the Scourge side of well, how does a shaman fit into either side?
I am truly in my element.
How does a druid fit into other side?
I don't like to fight.
And we found aspects of the Scourge that could fit appropriately for those. So part of the Scourge are the Nerubians, these creepy spider creatures and arachnid related things. So that druid connection to nature and beasts, and we've had some, back in Knights of the Frozen Throne, we had things like spreading plague. There's long been this spider connection for druids, druids of the swarm sort of stuff. So we thought that was an appropriate connection there. Shamans, warlocks, priests, dealing with spirits, souls, death, the sort of things that the Scourge are all about. So we found niches for those as well. Rogues we probably could have come up with some Blood Elf association with rogues as well, but there wasn't a organization, a faction that fit exactly. But to keep things balanced, it worked well for rogues to side with the Scourge. So we got to play with the mad scientist, the Professor Putricide type stuff, which I think worked out really well. I'm really excited for the whole concoction sort of thing. And we also get to, there's a sprinkle of death rattle type stuff that we wanted for gameplay reasons, we wanted to bring a little bit of more Death Rattle Rogue stuff back. I think for the Scourge classes, we knew we wanted to do undead as a common theme amongst them. One of the ways that we delivered on that was we put in neutral a whole bunch of new undead minions, and then in the classes there tend to be more synergy cards that are undead and synergize with the undead. So that there's an undead themed deck in all 5 of the Scourge classes, 6 if you count Death Knight, but they all play out in different ways that feel very shaman, very druid, very priest, etc. I want to deliver on that. You're playing as the Scourge sort of feel. So for the Blood Elves, we knew we wanted to do some sort of uniting mechanic for them as well. We tried a few different versions of a mechanic, eventually became known as Manathirst. Wanted to do something related to mana or power. The Blood Elves have this reliance on magical power. It's not the most healthy relationship in some ways for them. And then they've also recently, at this point in the timeline, gotten through their issues with Kael'thas and connection to fel magic and demons and such, but there's still a little bit of that left over, which was a good fit for Demon Hunter. But back to Manathirst. Manathirst is a bonus effect if you have X mana crystals. So the cards don't spend that extra mana, just they get stronger partway through the game. We wanted to have a mechanic that united the Blood Elves, and we tried Manathirst as it's spending the mana. We tried optional extra like delayed mana spending. We tried a few different things in there and ultimately decided, okay, these can just do their extra thing. And that way they feel fine if you have to play them early. They feel great if you get to play them later to save for it. Provided a nice goal during gameplay to aim for. And I think another note about it is that we wanted a mechanic for the set, a like keyword for the set. But there's so much going on in the set already with the Death Knights that we didn't need something super elaborate and complex. So we intentionally went with something on the milder side for the set keyword.